Let's move on to various problems which we might face while pinning down or identifying the meanings of words. In this regard, one of the major difficulties arises from the influence of context while we pin down certain meanings of a word. Context usually may be helpful in identifying the meanings, because it narrows down the uses of that word, and therefore it helps us to identify the meaning or the sense in which a word is being used. In this regard, it becomes very easy if we know the phrase or sentence in which a word is being used. Then we can identify its meaning, as I said, quite easily. But if we do not know the context, be it the social, cultural context or the textual context, if we do not know any of the context of the word, it would be very difficult to identify its meaning, and we will have to rely heavily on our memory, in which we might find its linguistic meanings. These contextual effects seem to pull word meaning into two opposite directions. First one is the restricting influence, and this accounts for those situations in which the words are compelled to fall together, or they are usually expected to fall together, and we call them collocations. Words do come together because of their regular uses by various speakers of that language. Let's compare the collocation between two adjectives, strong and powerful. These two words mean almost the same and can probably be used in similar situations. For example, we can say strong arguments or powerful arguments. Both would mean the same. But if we apply the same adjective in different situations, they may not sound meaningful or as meaningful as they sound in the previous example. For example, we might say a strong tea. I need a strong tea, or make me a strong tea. But we do not use the word powerful tea. We never use in our routines the term powerful before tea. Therefore, strong and tea, they fall together in a collocation, and we are used to use that in the same way, and therefore it makes the same meaning. Similarly, we say a powerful car, and we do not say a strong car. Powerful falls with car in a collocation, and that makes its meaning probably deeper and socially more understandable. These collocations also undergo the process of fossilization, and in that way they sometimes become fixed, and that also organizes in some way or the other our thoughts as well, because we become habitual to use them in the same way. For example, we always say husband and wife, and we seldom say wife and husband. Husband always falls in it prior to the word wife. Why so? There is no logical reason for that, but it's just the regular use or the collocation which makes us use in that way. Secondly, the contextual factors have an expanding role, and they pull the meanings towards creativity and semantic shift. Let's see how. For example, if you look at 4 sentences on the top in front of you, I read them for you. I go for a run every morning. The tail end, a batsman added a single run before lunch. He built a new run for his chicken. We took a new car for a run. In all these sentences, you probably see the word run is being used in different situations. The problem is how to view the relationship between these instances of run above. How would you diagnose or identify the relationship between them? Is there any relationship between the uses of these runs, or the run is being used in independent situations or in independent meanings? Are these different senses of the word run or examples of the same sense influenced by different contexts? That's a very important question to be considered here. And scholars and semanticists answer these questions with two words, and we call them ambiguity and vagueness. If all these uses of the words run are different from each other and each of the use has different meaning, then the word run is 4 times ambiguous. And if the word run has been used in the same sense but in different contexts, it is probably vague in some way or the other. So in order to understand the meanings or the contextual meanings of such words or such uses of the words, we also need to understand the terms like vagueness and ambiguity, which may be critical to the overall understanding and construction of the meaning. The problem is to decide in any given example whether one is dealing with ambiguity or vagueness. So it is not that easy to identify that which element is vagueness and which element is ambiguity. However, a general or some reasonable understanding of these terms and or their identification in various uses of some words is necessary so that we can identify meanings in their proper senses.